Here with Bigfoot Videos. So in today's video I'm actually going to show you how I'm going to take this custom piece that I was referring to a few videos ago to make a custom takeoff that comes out of your main run and goes towards to be able to connect like a smaller duct. So I'm going to show you how to take this piece that you cut off that if you have the ability to do that, and then I can now make a custom takeoff instead of having to try to find that kind of stuff, pay more money and all that good stuff. I just bought some sheet metal and then I'll do it. So I'm gonna time lapse it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Help us get to 500 subscribers. Alrighty, I got this custom piece made. So this is the part that will go into the main run, and I'll trace this onto that main run so that and then I'll cut the hole smaller, and then I'll cut slits and bend them up out of the way so that this will fit in the hole. And then this contour here will actually match the curvature of that pipe were I to just like stick it on there like that. And so that way it's not going to be sticking too far into the pipe. I'll be able to just put it in there. Then the tabs will be on the outside here all the way around, and I'll be able to screw in. And then this one won't be sticking down in there, and it'll actually, it won't whistle or anything like that. It'll just be a more efficient use of basically the current airflow. I won't be restricting the airflow at all because it won't be sticking in there. So, and then I'll just cut this to length, whatever length I need it at, to tie into an elbow joint, which is what I was doing there at the end. But the length of this measured 24 inches wide, and when you have a 7-inch in diameter pipe, your diameter, your circumference, I should say, is just under 22 inches. So pi times diameter equals circumference. I need my diameter to be 7 when I get done with this thing. So my circumference needs to be just under 22. So what I did I had a 24-inch wide sheet, and then I bent a flange with the 1-inch bender side. And it ended up making, even though I took 2 inches off in total, it ended up making, and then the new panel with the bent flanges measured 22 inches. It still was a smaller in diameter pipe once I got done hooking those edges on each other and screwing it together. And so I cut off about 1/2 inch on each little flange to give me another inch back, because I measured this circumference and it was 1 inch longer than this. Doesn't really make sense. I obviously lost more circumference, more original length of the sheet metal in this bend than I thought I could or would. So what I'll do on the next one is I'll use the 3/8 inch bend on it, and then because it's still just slightly too small, it's just a little bit less than 7 inches, so it makes it hard to fit into the tapered ends. So I'm going to use the 3/8 inch bend on the next one, and I'll go ahead and video it too, and hopefully it will come out perfect and I won't have to do anything. I'll just be able to build it and be done with it. But I'm going to cut another end on this one. So alright, so I put that 3/8 inch bend on those, and then I was able to get it hooked together and then screwed. and that was exactly what I needed. So it's right at 7 1/8 inch actually. I know that you can bend these flanges differently and buy a oh crap, I can't remember the name of it, but you could buy a long strip that's bent by a machine, and you basically can slide it down like inside this joint or on the outside, depending on how you bend it, and then that holds them together. So that would be an easier way to put together if you wanted to pay extra. It makes the job look a little bit cleaner and easier, but nonetheless, it's 7 inches now, and these 7-inch elbow joints fit in super easy. It goes right in there, so that's gonna be nice. The other one was a little bit smaller. Basically, so I did a 1 inch bend and then cut 1/2 inch off, and so I ended up having to squish this other end down with my tool. You saw that in that video, so that this one will fit. So I'll use this elbow to go on this one, so I don't have to remake another one of these things. So, but all I gotta do now is I actually already marked with that piece, the old piece. I marked the line where I need to cut on here, so I'm just gonna time lapse that, cut it, and then this will be ready to fit on the main run, and I'll cut it to length, whatever length I need to cut it to, so that I can tie it into one of those elbows. So enjoy the next clip, and that'll be it for the video. Everybody, that's going to do it for today's video. So I just ended up cutting that second piece that I made in half because it was more than long enough, and so I'm going to end up cutting this more down anyway once I cut it to fit once it's installed on the main run. And these ones, I just wanted to use these instead of that first one I did because it's just going to be easier to work with, because it's really the exact perfect size to be working with these elbow joints and stuff like that. So they'll just go in easier, it'll be a better connection, all of the above. So I wanted to slice it in half with my multi-tool just so I had I didn't waste any material, and I was able to mark a perfectly straight line around the edge with a Sharpie and a solid piece of actual floor. It was actually floor mat, and that way I could connect both ends and mark it with a Sharpie all the way around, so it was actually a straight line around. My cut, on the other hand, wasn't perfectly straight. But again, that's not gonna be my finished cut. I'm gonna have to cut more off to get it to fit. But that's the trick to make a perfectly curved edge. If you're matching up to a pipe, it's gonna match the curvature of the pipe it's going into, and it's gonna match its own curvature as well. And the only way I really know how to do it is to cut the old piece off. I know there's some tricks with like paper and drawing circles and stuff like that, but I am not smart enough for that kind of stuff. So do the easy thing, salvage the parts that you're replacing and use them, because that's the perfect match at the end of the day. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed today's content. Like, share, and subscribe. Here we go. Now let's go check out some of the other content. Thanks everybody. Bigfoot out.